Hi, I'm Kawiria Rincuni and welcome back to Afreecanah. Afreecanah is a platform where we share perspectives on our path to a free mind and a free life. And on this episode, we are going to talk about independence as a growth factor. And I have a very lovely guest and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Kawiria Rincuni and I'm very happy to be here to be having this chat with you.
Right. So to start us off, yeah, how would you define independence? Like, what's independence in your perspective?
So independence is a really big word and it has like a myriad of meanings. But to me, I would say it's self-reliance, like just being able to rely on myself. And by that I mean I'm able to take care of myself financially, emotionally, freedom, like just being free to be me and not being worried about what someone else thinks about me or what someone else thinks I should be.
Yeah. That's interesting because when I think independence, I think self-sufficiency, which is similar to your self-reliance. Though in terms of I think of it in terms of financial, spiritual, mental, and I really think independence is where you're aware of who you are outside of the influences that you've had in your life, because sometimes you might achieve financial independence but you're not mentally independent. When it comes to decision making, there are different steps of independence that I've gone through. And yeah, so of course the ultimate is now actualization. What are your aspects of independence? Maybe I can start us off. For me, my first aspect of independence was personal, or rather personality independence, where I first realized who Clara is, and I very quickly, when I was young, it was a very quick realization that I am different in terms of, and this came from the school setting. That's when I started now being aware that, okay, this is who you are currently. And for a long time, I used to feel like there was something wrong with it. There was something wrong with speaking up. There was something wrong with being quite opinionated, until I got to a point where it was okay. Like I was like, okay, that's just who I am. And I almost confront it before someone else. I'm like, okay, I understand I'm opinionated, but so it was very easy. Then there was the spiritual independence, where we used to go to church with Kina Mom and everything. So a lot of things were imposed, and it got to a point where I started making my own choices regarding my spiritual life, regarding where I would like to worship, how I would like to worship. Another aspect, maybe I can ask you, but then we can
just I think that would be good. Yeah. So, okay, I would say that my I haven't thought of independence from, like, it wasn't a thing that I thought about from when I was like a kid or anything. I think for me, independence has come as an adult. Like, it was never a thing. Like, there's no time I thought, oh my God, I'm independent when I was younger. I would say for me, independence became a thing when I moved out of home. Before that, like, I never thought about it. And I don't think I would say I was experiencing it, because at that point I was at sort of the mercy of the parents. Like, they were protected. I would say, like, we were very protected growing up. Which I don't complain about, to be honest, because I feel like in that setup, it was the best thing that could be offered. And for me, what I was seeking now when I became an adult and I knew I could be able to take care of myself, is just the freedom to just be. Like, I want to sleep, if I want to sleep the whole day. So it wasn't, to be honest, it wasn't that deep. Like, it was just, for me, independence meant freedom to, like, if I don't want to wash the dishes, they can just stay on the sink, and I'll wash when I'm ready. If I want to sleep the whole day, I can just feel like, okay, you know what, I'm just feeling so tired. I just want to rest and I'm going to wake up and then do the things that I need to do.
Yeah.
That for me was what independence was. But then now as I continue growing, I realize like that independence now starts meaning more to me. So independence in the sense that I need to take care of myself. Like when I moved out of home, it means that I don't want to ask mom or dad for support, especially like financially. Like I don't want to reach a point where I'm not able to pay, say, my rent or my transport or my food, you know. So financially like that. If it's things to do with say spirituality, you know, like at that point I hadn't thought about it, but the more I continue to progress is when I'm like, you know what do I believe in, and what do I want for myself. I would say like independence for me has been something that I have picked up as I continue to progress. And it's different aspects that I realize that, oh my gosh, I feel like over here I was tied up, and now this is what I want for myself. I feel like in this situation, this is not how maybe it should have happened. This is what I want for myself. Like I keep on realizing things that have been like caging me, and now I'm like, okay,
you're free.
I want to be free. So what do I need to do in order to be free?
I totally understand that. I really understand that. And just to add, to continue, the other part of my independence was financial, where when I first got my job, to be honest, when I achieved financial independence when I learned how to manage my money, not when I started earning or even getting good money. I was just getting paid, you get. But then I really...
Like the money is coming in.
It was just coming in,
But it's just being hemorrhaged, like you don't know. You don't know,
I'm like...
It's just coming in and going out.
Yeah,
like you can't say.
And even if it was saving, those were decisions that were highly made by Dad, you know. And that's something he was very keen on when I started working. He was like, whatever you're earning, save it. So for a long time, I was not independent financially, because he used to support me in terms of, how much have you saved? You've got, okay, this is what you should save this more, try this. So I got to a point where now I was like, okay, I feel confident enough in myself to do this financially, and I started having that independence of, I'm like, okay, this is how much I get, this is what I want to do with my money, this is how I want my money to work for me, etc. How has your financial independence journey been?
I would say just like I think we've been socialized
the same.
Like, because even I remember like when we were kids, like we'd be given pocket. Okay, I don't know if it was the same. This is so weird. I don't know if it was the same for you. But like when we were in campus, Dad would give us like let me talk for myself. But Dad would give me pocket money for the week. So let's just give a ballpark figure. Like let's say every day you're getting let's say 1,000 bob. You're given on Monday. You're given 1,000 bob to carry you through the week. Then that 1,000 bob, first of all you need to be the one to split it for yourself. So he won't ask you every day whether you have money or not. Him is giving you money on Sunday night for you to carry for the whole week. And then so you know how you're going to divide it based on how your classes are and you know how, because it's for transport and for lunch. Then at the end of the week he'll ask. So like at the end of the week, so maybe like on Friday or on Saturday, I want to go out with my friends for like lunch or for a movie. And then I'm like, Dad, please give me. I'm going out with my friends for lunch or for a movie. Could you please add for me some money? Like, the movie is blah blah lunches. Then he'll be like, so how much have you saved from the week? I'm like,
how much do you have?
First of all, like that 1,000 is not enough. You know,
I barely made it.
I start like raising my case, and for me, I feel like that whole experience used to make me dread asking for money, because I'm just like, but I feel like it didn't affect you, because I feel like for you it was different, because I'll get to that point where I feel like it was different. So for me, I would feel very I was like, I have, like, asking for money now is such a long process. Now I have to justify why I need it. Then I have to start giving my, recount the week and why I couldn't save something.
Yeah.
So, like, given that experience, by the time I was starting to work and now getting my small salary, I was just like, oh my God, thank you. Like, at least I don't have to ask for money. And not in a bad, like, at least I don't have to ask, and I don't have to explain. At least now I can, and plus, okay, well, the advantage of that past is that now I know how to save my money, so I don't have to ask. Or rather, not even save, I know how to manage the money, the small money that I have, so that I don't have to ask for money. So that's what that helped me with. And I guess maybe it was a lesson in a way, but also a lesson can have both negative and positive
effects.
So yeah, like so in terms of financial independence, I believe that my financial independence started when I started earning my own money, because then I felt that I don't have to go to anyone. Like if I want to go for lunch, I don't have to come to you to ask,
and be like,
please give me lunch money. If I want to buy myself something like a watch, like I don't have to ask anyone, because I'm the one who knows, like, how am I managing. And if I don't have, by then I won't get it. I'll just be like, okay, you know what? Actually, next time, like, you know how you go to, you know how you go to a shop, then you see something and you ask them, so how much is this painting? And then they tell you like some ridiculous amount, like 30K, and you're like, hey, okay, so tarudi nitakuja next time. So I would say that's the impact it's had, but also that's starting to earn is what helped me feel like I am on the journey to having financial independence. And I know, like, we look at financial independence like as a big, as a big thing, like from an investment, savings. But sometimes it could be from like if you're able to get something small for yourself
to live,
and you're not relying on other people. For me, that is independence already. And then it's for me to be able to sustain it, so that I'm not like I'm constantly having. I'm constantly having some income, so that I don't have to do that.
Okay, if I may ask, how do you feel it was different for both of us? Because honestly, I think back to the time we wrote a memorandum of understanding for my phone, and you were the witness. And I was at that point.
First of all, the reason I think. The reason I think that it was different for us is because, okay, not different in the way he was doing it, different in how we took it. There's different in the way we took it and how we reacted to it. I feel like you enjoyed the process of negotiating and justifying. I did not. Like I did not want to come and then now you start asking me, so what happened to the money that I gave you? How did you use it? I didn't enjoy that process. So when I want to ask for something, I'll just think about the process and I'm like, you know what, I don't need that thing. And even now, like if I don't have it, like I'll just be like, you know, do I really need that thing? Like I'll really have that process of like, weighing, then I'm like, you know what, I won't do it, I'll just wait. So I'll keep on. I'll actually do the saving. So that week I will find like, how can I save like 200 from that 1,000? For you, on the other hand, I feel like you are like, oh, that's a process. This is how I'm gonna get the money. Okay, I'm going to play this game with you, and you will go and you will justify and you'll tell him, by the way, I spent my money for transport on this and this. Like, and then this is what I need the money for, and this is how I'm going to use it. Like for you to actually send that memorandum of like, you see, like for me, I've never been given. It's because I never got a cool phone like yours. As in the phones I used to be given were the cheap ones. That was an expensive one.
It was an expensive.
So when he was giving you, it's like he wants you to be held accountable. But you are ready to be asked the questions. You are ready to face the consequences. You know, me, like for me now, I was just like, what if this phone gets lost? Like, because Dad, like, he's just like, you're holding the phone like that and you're carrying it like that. If it gets lost, if it falls and breaks, and if you break the screen, like I wasn't, for me, those things, I was just like, it's holding me back, like, and I'll constantly, and for me, like I was telling you, I think I'm compulsive a bit, so like that thing will constantly be
on your mind,
on my mind.
I hope I don't lose it.
I hope I don't lose it. And now you see, I'm not enjoying that thing anymore. Or I hope I didn't fall and break. So I'm constantly just trying to protect it. which then beats the purpose
of the thing. Exact. Okay, I understand. And then what sparked your journey for self-discovery? And I ask this because very rarely, when you start being introspective, then you realize I've actually been on this journey for a bit. I want to know at what point did you start discovering? You're like, I'm getting to know Kawi more. Kawi wants this. Kawi does things like this. Kawi, yeah.
I'm just like, when did my journey? Oh, let me tell you. I think in my earlier life, I was just living. Like I was just
happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, like I live in a bubble. Like I used to live in a bubble. Like I was in this bubble where like life is just like, ooh, like it's so nice. Like oh my gosh, I like everyone. People like me. And the ones who I don't get along with, you're not in my life, so it's alright. So I would say my like legit journey for self-discovery started like a few years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, when things were not working out. As in, for the first time in my life, things like everything in my life just felt like it's not working out. That's the time that I feel like I started a journey of self-discovery. Before that, I was just me. Like I was just walking through life. You know, I wasn't interested. Like I'll just be like, oh, this is making me happy. This is making me sad. Like, but I won't like think beyond. I won't try to be aware. I won't try to investigate and be aware of what is the root cause of this. And I think also in that sense, even the conversations that I would have at that point were not as, like they didn't hold water as much. So even me, there was a lot of things that I let just slide and float, like just in the air,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Like oh my gosh, like this person is like this, so I won't question them as much, or this thing is like this, and I won't like look into it as much. But then in that moment where like I was just like, my life is just wow, everything that I thought is not, everything that I thought is not.
And everything you thought is not is becoming is.
And that is the moment that I was just like, oh my God, I actually need to figure out who I am and what it is that I want, and then I need to start pursuing that thing. I think that was my moment.
Wow.
But it had to take something not working out for me to wait for it to spark.
Wow, do you know that's actually very true? Because even for me, my journey of self-discovery started when I was younger. And it was because things are not working out. So the math was not mathing, And for me, it was school. And this is a conversation we had with Mom. I was really clashing.
But what like
it was my personality, imagine.
But
and I didn't know how to. No, I was not aware.
So like that time,
and I didn't know.
I feel like asking that time that.
Wait.
Okay.
So let's just speak in general.
No, I was going to ask, like, is it with specific people that you were struggling with, or was it just generally? Like, I exist as Clara, and I'm not getting along with people in my class in general, or was it specific people that you weren't getting along with?
So the thing that used to happen was when every time I join a school, I used to make a lot of friends. I'm very good at making friends. Like people gravitate towards me in class settings. But then that relationship used to turn sour very fast and very bitterly. We used to clash, and now in hindsight, it was my personality that I did not know how to control. And you see, these are also kids who are trying to defend themselves in a school. It's a fight. You're coming to war. So you better, you're either making allies or you're making enemies, and those allies can turn to enemies, etc. And in terms of the school setting, because of the relationship we had with Mom and Dad at home, I used to feel like I could say anything. I could speak up when I wanted to speak up. I remember even there's one time in Hospital Hill, there was a challenge because of going to the bathroom. I had a habit of just going. Like if I feel I need to go, I go. And
Like
people,
you don't go, excuse me, teacher,
yeah,
go
people,
to the bathroom.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just was not socialized like that. Now that I'm thinking back, and that there are just small issues. For instance, if we're in a group setting and someone is not doing what they're supposed to do, I would make sure that things are done. Like I was not very empathetic at that time, and it was through Mom's insight that made me aware that if I continue this way, okay, first she made me aware that she cannot be following me everywhere. Now you're a grown-up, you're kind of grown, you're an adolescent, you've decided you want to go to Kaga Girls. It's in Meru, we're in Nairobi. Try to accommodate other people. The challenge now for me was to accommodate people. So it just so happened that when I went to high school, people were friendlier. I mean, I think also growing, growth. And then I found a teacher who liked me. And I stuck with that teacher.
Yeah.
And and it was through that experience, then I went to campus, that I realized, I need to change. Otherwise, I'll never have friends. Otherwise, I'll never have anything solid outside the family. Yeah, that's where it came from.
And now that you talk about that, that kind of that kind of realization, I would say another thing that I realized is relationship from a friendship perspective. Independence. I think I've always been a weird friend, but I've not been a believer of people controlling how you behave or how you...
The we.
Yeah, I don't like, I've never liked cliques.
Yeah.
I don't do cliques. So, I don't know, I was not, it's not a conscious thing. So I just was not doing it. But then as I grow older, or as I progress in life, then I became conscious of the fact that I actually do not have a group of friends who, you have a group of friends that I have friends from everywhere. Like I have friends from high school, friends from primary school, friends from campus. And it's one or two. It's not, I don't have like a group of friends who I would say, like all these guys were in primary school with me, and now we've
10 years strong.
Yeah.
Because
I just like the independence of being me without the influence of the people around me, especially like from a friendship point
of view.
Because I feel like sometimes when you're in a clique, they influence a lot of the decisions that you make or a lot of the things that you do. And I could tell, like, when in primary school, like, people used to have cliques, and I'm just like, I used to be like friends with everyone. Like, I was friends with, I'll hang out with you guys today, tomorrow I'll hang out with you guys. Same thing with high school. Today I'll hang out with these guys. Then later on, like, I don't know, I think it was still like when I was having this whole identity thing, like a few years back, when I was saying that, when I actually realized that now issues have cropped up. I think it was also when I started thinking back, like, how do I relate to my friends? Like, when it comes to friendships, what kind of friend am I? And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm not a friend who, I take individuals. Like, if I get along with you and I relate to how you your ways of working and just how you are, then I'll stick with you. Like, I won't, but you might have many friends, but I won't try to be in the clique. Yeah. So I just one picking, like, and then I also like join a lot of friendships. So I find these people already different. I'm like, oh, you guys have a cool relationship, and I actually like how this thing works. Then I would say there's also that friendship,
relational independence.
Yeah,
that's so true. Do you know, that's something I noticed about you. And it was really, and I realized, wow, as a person, you're really independent. Like, I would say, personally, I'm an interdependent person. Wherever I go, as opposed to let me not frame it like that. But wherever, in every space I go, I try to identify with people. You get? So I'll find people I relate with, I find people I click with, and I stick with them. Even if I make friends around, that's the group, that's the people I'll stick with.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, for me, being needed is important. And I realized that because being needed is important to me, I also have to need people. Because our relationships are like that. Like with my best friend Winnie, there are parts where she needs me, and I know where, the areas where she needs me. And I feel very valued that she needs me. And there are areas where I need her, and she knows these are the areas where she needs me. And I feel like our relation, like I feel more secure when I know.
I get that. It's very beautiful. I get it. But now for me, when it comes to that need aspect, I'm just like, to be honest, like the need that I put, the need either goes now in my relationship where I have a need, and then I feel like sometimes we put so much burden on friendships, and yet also our friends are going through. So in that sense, I'm just like, why am I burdening this person with this thing? And well, in a relationship, it's different because you're intertwined, like in different ways, you know, not just like friendship.
Buddy.
But also with parents, like I feel like I can tell mom and dad that, this is, and I've done that before, like this is the situation that I'm dealing with. And I know for a fact, like it won't, for them, because it's very, I feel like it's unconditional.
Yes, it's
like
very
they feel a responsibility and accountability towards me.
Yeah.
So even when I tell them, they want to help me find a solution. But sometimes I feel, and maybe it's not that I think less of my friends, it's just that I'm like, this thing is so heavy.
Yeah.
Like, what am I expecting from you? Like, I actually, even I don't know what I expect.
I'm not
from
figured
you.
it out.
Yeah, so even when I'm telling you, I'm just like, I feel like I'm putting you in a position, and I don't want to do that. But you see, in a relationship, I am like emotionally like if I am not okay, then we will not be okay. So you need to be in that space with me so that you can understand that this is the thing that I'm struggling with. So but for parents and for like now a sibling, I feel like they won't be left thinking, this chick has issues. It will be more like, okay. You know, like I remember the time that I would say I had the biggest issue that I felt at that point, because it's past now. Like at that time, I just felt like, oh my God, this is such a
there was some
like it's gigantic. I remember like involving some of my friends, but I could just tell, like, even my friends don't know, like they don't know what to do, because even them, they're relying on you to tell them what you want them to do.
How do you want me to say?
But you see, like when I went home and I told mom and dad about my problem, I was just like, okay. How this is, like, you know, now it's like, let's get this thing going, like, you know. And for me, I don't know, like it's
I get you. I totally understand you. Okay. How big of a factor is exposure in your quest for independence?
It's big. I'd say it's big. Like, well, like I don't have statistics, but it's big. Because for you to be independent, first of all, you need to know that you can be.
Yes.
Or not knowing like, and by that I mean that you can live a life not knowing that you can actually be independent of certain things, because either your experiences have caged you, but if you see other people who have been in such who have experienced certain things and they've been able to step out from that, and then you're like, and it's people who represent you, like someone who you look at and like, you're like, I see myself in this person. I think it's very important, and it's people from, and that's why I like platforms, like not even a platform like this, where someone listens to you and they're like, you know what, if this person could do this, then why can't I do this? You know, if I am going through this situation, why can't I get out of this situation, or why can't I see myself past this situation? So So for me, I would say exposure is very important. Even just keep on interacting with people. Like for me, I would say mostly my close friends and my relatives and now my nuclear family.
Yeah.
That's been my exposure.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I listen to so many people. Like I make a point of just having conversations with as many people. Like if I have an event, I will probably make a friend or two in that space. Or if I work somewhere, I'll make friends. And from those people, I actually learn quite a lot. And for me, that's my form of exposure. Okay. And there's also the thing like just reading random books, just seeing, like, you know, those stories might sound outrageous.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
you know, like, but let me tell you, those things actually happen. So,
yeah.
And like, I'm a fan of Kina Daniels. I know those things, they just, I don't know if it's personal experiences or it's things that like they've thought out of their minds, but reading such books, like just growing up, helped me see certain things that even when now I see them as an adult, they don't faze me.
True.
I'm just like, oh, I read that thing in Daniel's, like, you know, or Sydney Sheldon. Like,
I'm not surprised.
I'm really not surprised.
Okay.
So yeah, like it's a really big factor. Like it's not something that you should always seek to discover and to always find out things from other people, so that you're not just relying on your own personal experience, but a culmination of all these things.
Okay, all right. I think exposure plays a huge role in your quest for independence, because how do you even know what you want if you've not seen like, you know, I knew it was possible for me to move because you moved. You get? And a lot of people are asking me, why are you moving? You guys are living so well. You guys are, I'm like, it's time.
Yeah.
It is time
and
for me
that,
to, And I don't know who I was explaining it to, but because you've done a lot of things that I want to do, it's easier. It's not like I'm like, okay, I'll do that. I'll do this by this.
It's possible.
I'll do,
because someone else
has done it, and I've seen them overcome those challenges. One of the biggest exposures for me has been books. I know from a young age, Mom used to buy us books. You know, and she's like, okay, there's a book on this, there's like whatever challenge you're facing.
Also, the funniest thing is that, like, when she sees that you have a problem, like, if there's a thing that you're doing that she didn't know how to approach, like, she'll go and
buy a
look
book.
for a book.
She's like, oh, so there's this book. Even adolescents. Do you know I read a book on adolescence before?
I remember. I also read a book.
Womanhood. So I think the culture of reading at home has exposed me to so many possibilities, to a point where I worked at Kwani like writing, publishing. What? And it's not because
like I'd forgotten that.
and it's not because people are thinking that's wild. I'm like, no. I mean, people have written books. Even me, I would want to write a book.
I still want to write a book. I don't know about what,
but it's a win.
But it's when I want to write a book. I don't even know when, but I just think I'm just hoping it's before 40.
Yeah.
I just need to get the inspiration of the what. Yeah. I don't know the what, but I have the desire to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think exposure is a lot, especially because in your mind, rather in my mind, there's always a why. Why do you think it'll work? Why do you think? Of course, there's the devil's advocate in the mind, and exposure kind of gives you a buffer, you know. Even if it's not a real per se story, it's a real scenario because it happened in someone else's mind. So that kind of exposure, books, even going to schools where the cultures are so different. Like primary was in Embu, high school Meru, campus Strath. Not even Nairobi, it was Strath, where people are from very diverse cultures. I mean, in families and whatnot. And then even in the workspace, working in the advertising space, that exposure shows you that there's more. You can do more.
When you talk about like the interacting with people from diverse cultures, like the one thing that I think also Mom and Dad did, which I really appreciate, is they taught us to live with anyone from
anywhere.
Like anyone from any walk of life. Like whether you're like the richest or the poor. Like I don't know how they did it, but
I know.
Oh, you know. Like I don't, like I always
Visitors.
like when
I know, Mom, if you're watching, I know you're cringing, but I love you.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of, we live, our family is very, we live with each other.
Yeah.
You know, okay, you're going to Canada. Yeah, there's someone in Canada.
Yeah.
You can stay with them. You know.
Yeah, like it makes it so easy to interact. Like for me, culture shock. Well, there's the culture shock for like, wow, there's opulence here. Like, you know, where you go to like a friend's house and you're just like, guys, wow. Like it was seeing, and like you can't see the end of, you
wings.
Know, but like there's that, the shock is inside. But in terms of interacting, like it's like we're not phased, which I really appreciate because. Like for me, I'm like actually not phased, and in that sense, I feel like even there's independence there because I don't feel like I have to rely
to change.
Change. Yeah, like even in terms of who I am, like the person that I am now.
Yeah,
I'll be this person, whether I am here, seated here, or whether I am seated in the office, or whether like I don't have to try and switch modes, you know, which I don't know. Like I probably will attribute it to how we were raised. Yeah. Because there's definitely nothing else I can attribute it to. Yeah.
What would you say has been your biggest growth factor in terms of independence?
I would say progression. And then progression and vulnerability. So I would say progression in the sense that I feel like everything you do adds up eventually. Like it, well, like I won't say like everything happens for a reason, but I would say like everything that you're doing, like somehow, I don't know, like just it keeps on building and building into what you're becoming. It might not look like it at that point. Like today, this might not look like a thing now, right now, but maybe like maybe like in 5 years we'll look back and be like, oh my, the first day we did this Afreecanah, you know, like this is what it was building up to. So that's what I feel about my life. Like I feel like my life has been a constant, you know, like journey. That is being made up of the things that I'm living. Like it's like breadcrumbs. Just picking up, and they're all like helping me like create a thing. The
How
good and the
about
bad.
vulnerability?
So vulnerability, it wasn't a thing that was there before, but I just feel like as I'm adulting, it's the thing that's helping me connect. It's the thing that's helping me be me. And to be free to be me. Like if I'm not vulnerable, then it's very hard to achieve those things. Like if I don't come clean with, you know, who I am, the mistakes I'm making, you know, like just those things that are not like nice,
the cutest,
like the cutest things. Like if I don't come to terms with them, then I will just I'll stagnate. I'll still continue living in that bubble that I was living in, which is not a good place to be in.
All right. Okay. For me, I would say faith and genuinity. Faith because ever since I was a kid, not as a kid in the social space, I felt very alone. Like I was social, but I was alone. I didn't feel understood. I felt seen, but I didn't feel understood. And I felt very accommodated. And that's not, so when you remember when I was younger, I was so into faith, like God was, not that I'm not, but God has been the pillar that has assured me inside. And you know, I came to realize now that I'm older, that was not something any person could do for me. It was something I had to get to myself, but then God was the bridge through so as I was figuring it out, I was confident, I felt loved, I felt appreciated.
Exactly, like
in what context?
I want to say, how would you
tangibly put it?
Yeah, tangibly. Yeah, because like, is it because of prayer? Like, what is the thing that you are doing that that made you feel
Communication.
that God, okay.
I communicate, even in my present life, I talk to God a lot.
Okay.
And I don't do the formal, okay, of course there's the formal prayer, of course, before you sleep. And then when I'm in the bathroom, I don't know why it's in the bathroom, but I pray. But consciously all through my life, I've been praying. Even when I talk, sometimes I say it, I'm like, God, please, if you're hearing, then I say. But then when I was younger, it used to happen at night when I'm in bed. I used to cry a lot. I used to struggle a lot alone. I used to struggle a lot. And I used to. God was my punching bag, I'm like, people are saying all these things about me, but that's not true. I don't feel like it was just, I was like, these guys are trying to bamboozle me into what, because Kina Mom used to keep telling me, you're so smart, you're so, I'm like, And at that time, I think the only avenue I had was God, because every other avenue was giving me trouble. If I speak up at school, I'm a bad student. At home, I could not put it in words because I did not know who to blame.
Like every time you express yourself, you're met with an encouragement, and you're just like, I am not
awesome. I'm not.
Or like a motivation. I want to motivate you, but I like that's a form of support.
Exactly. So that's what was happening at home, and everyone at home believed in me. Like it was such a.
But we still do. also we still think you're the smartest. Doing the shit no, but it's true. But you see, like sometimes people think like that because they know it and they see it. And you see, like in school, you're measured against your grades.
And
but you see, at home, we are seeing you like
in a natural element.
First of all, in a natural element, and then it's wholesome. Like it's from a loving point of, from a like how you're able to solve problems. Like Namami, like I remember, you're the one who, and Mom and Dad, you're the one who was the kaguru for fixing things. Like if the remote is not, why is the remote not like you come and change the battery? Like why is the laptop mechanic. Not? You see, for them now, in that sense, they're just like, hey, this guy is so smart.
Shut up.
And then you go to school, you're over there like physics, chemistry, math.
And you see, in hindsight, wow. It's good we're having this conversation because I'm also having so many realizations. In school, my biggest challenge was being myself. And because I used to struggle so much to be myself, because I didn't know any other option. I was like, I can't be quiet. And it's not that I was too noisy, I was opinionated, and teachers didn't like that. Teachers like
asking questions.
Me, I'm telling you, believe it. And then I ask a question, you give me an answer. I was like, but why? Then you're like, that's
what it is. Like deal with it.
And then I used to struggle with that so much, such that my grades even started going down because it's not making sense. You're lying. Either you're lying or it's not adding up. I just couldn't see. But God, my faith in God, or rather my relationship with God has been where I can be trash, and I'm allowed to be trash in that moment. And especially, I think it's because there's no person talking back that, that you're feeling hard or felt. And I used to lament a lot, like I used to just, my prayers were, God, when? You see, actually,
when else?
God, when will I? When will? And then it just evolved to.
Do you feel like the things that you're praying for that time are like
manifested? Kitambo. Okay. They worked out because I was praying for the wrong thing first. Because what God did is He worked on me, and that changed because my life changed because of my thoughts. I think you've seen that I've evolved. I've moved from where I was in and that's because inside there was work being done that the outside couldn't see. And lastly, in terms of genuinity, is the same thing you're saying with being vulnerable. It's this is who I am. It's not take it or leave it, but bear with me.
Yeah.
Love me despite of the things you might not be. You might not be
Like
comfortable
the things that don't
with.
sit right with you about me.
Yes.
Well, I can try. Like, unless if it's
try.
a negative thing, or if it's a toxic thing, then you can try and work on it.
Yes.
But in the meantime, also like just
love me through it.
Yeah.
Love me through it. And
Yeah.
that's the thing that drives me, because I'm like, even sometimes you're talking, people are like, why are you sharing that? I'm like, because it's true. It's true.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And you find that when you're genuine with people, people feel it. People feel the genuinity.
But of course, like, it's also genuinity with respect. Like, I don't, you know, there's some also people, there are people who take advantage of the fact that, like, like, that's why that's me being a realist. But while they're being that, I'm just being blunt. But while they're doing that, they're also just treating you badly.
Yeah.
So you have to accommodate that bad treatment.
True.
Because that's who they are. But that's not right. You see, like, if it's a trait that is not a healthy trait, and that people around you are struggling to live with, then it's something that you have to work on. But it's true, like, just, you know, like,
be genuine about it, you know.
Yeah.
And even in those things, that's a really good point. Because I feel even in those things you struggle with, you need to be genuine about it. You need to tell the people around you, I'm struggling. Yeah. You know how?
Yeah.
Because sometimes people point out challenges, and in terms of reactions, some people react to defend the problem, but it is not your problem. It's not Clara's problem. It is our problem. You get?
Yeah.
And I think it's very genuine. Like, if someone comes to you, maybe someone comes telling you, your partner, maybe we share a bed one night. Yeah, we've gone for a sleepover somewhere. There's one bed. We share a bed, and you tell me, by the way, the next day, your toenails are so long, they're scratching me.
Yeah.
And then I get so focused on defending
The long
nails, but then it just so happens that that's not it's cut them. You know?
Like, it's not a big, or even just shape
Put
them.
socks,
So,
or something. You get. So I find being genuine with challenges is very important to this, like a growth factor for me.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'd also like to say, before we wrap up, thank you so much for being on this channel again. Afreecanah says thank you.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I'm looking forward to many more, actually.
Have you recorded that? Okay, so the thing is, in terms of journeys and sharing journeys, it would be really nice to have more of these conversations, because I gained a lot of my independence through sharing my journey with you, and watching, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important for me to talk about this, because I realize most of the time, not everyone has that big sister to live life with, you know.
Yeah.
It's easier, especially like when you're hiking, it's easier when it's a tough place. It's easier to walk in twos than to walk alone. You get, because of that extra balance, and I think that's very important. Do you have a parting shot for our audience in terms of independence?
In terms of independence, I think like, just always seek to be your true self. And I don't know, like, I know people keep on looking for their purpose, but if you seek to be your true self, then those other things, like, usually just, you know, align. Even I'm still seeking my purpose, but the fact that I'm seeking to be my true self, I think, is part of the journey. So that's what I would say. Like, that's the most important thing. And even the people around you, I think you will be shortchanging them if you're not the true version of yourself. If you're trying to be other people, or if you're hiding who you really are, they will benefit more if you are you, because you are made, like, that's the reason why, like, God didn't make a mistake creating you the way you are. You know, so don't try to hide it. Like, just let it be free. Exactly, be free.
That's true. And just to wrap up, I'll wrap up with a quote that you told me. If you feel like you're performing, you're probably on a stage. And our message today is get off the stage and be you. You know, be independent and allow other people to also influence your journey through independence. Of course, the people you value. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
And to our audience, thank you so much for tuning in. Please comment if through your journey of independence, because I know each of you are on different levels of your journey. Please share with us your growth factor in terms of independence. How has family been a factor, an influence, whoever has influenced you through your journey? Please let us know. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms, all Afreecanah social media platforms, and be sure to subscribe. All right, thank you. Till next time, this is Afreecanah.